Almost 3 years ago, my beloved husband James left to join the fight to preserve the Union. And he promised when he left, he would write to me. And every day I waited for his letters. At first they were filled with loving words and reassurances that he'd be home soon, but war persevered, and soon he started to include practical advice on how I should run our small farm. Sometimes he would write about the battles he fought, but not often. I don't think he wanted to worry me. I did my best to comfort him with my replies, but I didn't want him to worry about what was happening at home. But the battles kept going, and with the long marches in between, his letters became fewer and fewer until at last, finally, it had been months before I received any word. And last autumn, the letter arrived. Not in my husband's hand, but that of another soldier to tell me of the passing of him. He died on the battlefield in Vicksburg. He must have known the end was coming. And not being able to be with me, they found him holding an image of me. He died alone, far away from home, and all that was familiar to him is buried I don't know where. If the Union is to be preserved, at what cost? When small families like mine are torn apart daily and left to fend for themselves. As a woman, I depended on my husband. There weren't many ways for me to earn my way. I could have joined a regiment and worked as a nurse or a cook or a laundress, but as a widow, it was customary for me to be in mourning at least 2 years, and working would be unseemly and disrespectful to my beloved husband's memory. So I decided to stay on our small farm and hope that each year it provides some small comfort for me. But I wanted to mourn James properly, and I couldn't afford a mourning dress, so I took every piece of cloth I had and dyed it black. I remember the air was thick with the stench from the dye, as though everybody I knew had lost someone they loved that day. In my free moments, I set to making this dress stitch by stitch. In the winter, by candlelight, I thought of James as I tatted this lace. If I could not be by his side when he passed from this world and hear the whispers of his dying words, I wanted his spirit to rest easy in heaven, knowing that I am missing him, and that he's in my prayers every night. But I am struggling without him, and I'm trying to be brave. But when I feel my courage is failing me, sometimes he'll come to me in my dreams and take me by the hand and say, "Hold fast, my beloved, everything will be all right." I wish I could believe that was true. I desperately wish I could.